Yo, what's up everyone? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another video that I have here for you guys. So the other day I actually posted something on Twitter talking about Super Smash Brothers and why all of these crazy Western characters that people are bringing up. We have the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy coming to Nintendo Switch. We also have the Spyro Reignited, apparently leaked or whatever, was Nintendo UK, but it's coming to the PS4 and Xbox One first. So whatever, you guys have already heard me talk about that. But a lot of the big topics that you guys are bringing up when it comes to Smash Brothers was the characters and who's gonna make it in and what third-party characters are gonna make it in. And guys, this is not my first Super Smash Brothers rodeo. I was around for the last time that this game came out on the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and I was covering Smash Brothers. I played the game early at E3. This shirt is actually me winning one of the line tournaments that you had to win. You had to win 2 rounds, so you had to win a free-for-all with all 4 people one time as a practice one, and then you had to win another game after that in order to get this shirt, and then you can go to the next stage and do all that. But anyway, and people made it seem on Twitter and everything that I was trying to douse the hopes of people online in terms of all of these characters like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, all these great Western characters. I mean, people talk about Doom Guy. People want all these different Western characters in here, but I'm here to tell you that all of these fantasy Western characters are probably not going to get into the new Super Smash Brothers. And I'll give you guys multiple reasons why. I'll also counterpoint some of the thoughts and some of the stuff that you guys were saying to me on Twitter. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. So the first thing that I want to note, guys, is that with Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U and Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS, there were multiple third-party characters, right? Everyone knows that. I want to set the basis for this. However, all of these characters were Japanese third-party characters, and I think that's probably the overarching point that I want to make sure that you guys understand, is that a lot of the third-party characters in this game, actually all the third-party characters in this game, are all Japanese characters. They're either characters from franchises that have been on Nintendo systems or have a great relationship with Nintendo. For example, Bayonetta, she is a Japanese third-party character, great relationship with Nintendo when it comes to Sega. Or Sonic, for example, once again, great relationship with Nintendo on the system. You can even look at like Pac-Man, and although Pac-Man hasn't been around a lot, he definitely was on the Nintendo GameCube with that Pac-Man Championship or whatever it was. Pac-Man is back again on the Nintendo Switch, but Pac-Man's always just been around Nintendo systems, so that made sense, I think, kinda. But either way, he's there. But he's also probably more into the Japanese icon status, because that was the big thing that a lot of people were trying to tell me, was that, oh, okay, well, you're bringing up these icons, but Spyro's an icon and Crash Bandicoot's an icon. And yes, you're right, Crash Bandicoot is an icon for Western gaming. Spyro is somewhat of an icon for Western gaming. However, Spyro and Crash, those are both Western third-party characters. Western third-party characters, because a lot of you guys were trying to bring up, okay, well, how did Snake get in? But once again, Snake got in, 1, because he's a Japanese gaming icon, and 2, because actually Hideo Kojima back then asked Sakurai, hey, can you put Snake in the game? They're actually friends, like they talk to each other and all of that. And from what I understand, Snake was supposed to be in Melee, they just didn't have the time to put him in. And as many of you guys know, one of the best GameCube games of all time, in my opinion, one of the best games of all time, was Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes on the GameCube, the remake of the classic PS1 title. That was just absolutely phenomenal back in the day on the GameCube. So it kind of made sense that if they didn't have time to put him in terms of Melee, that they got him in Brawl, and based on Sakurai and Hideo Kojima's relationship, that he would make it in at some point. Now, I do feel that Snake might make a comeback just because of Konami and Nintendo's relationship, but that's a video, I guess, for another day, right? Looking into it, I had a lot of people also tell me like, okay, well, what about Cloud, OJ? Cloud's in there. Like, if Cloud's in, why not Crash? Or why not Spyro? Because Cloud was a big Sony character, right? I mean, for the most part, yes, he's third party, but he kind of was like the mascot for the PlayStation 1 at one point. So once again, I say, yes, that's true. Cloud is big with Sony, right? Cloud is all about that Final Fantasy VII remake and all the stuff that's going on with Sony. But once again, I will repeat, Japanese gaming icon. And Sakurai does have friends over there at Square Enix in terms of everything, and they're looking to put Japanese gaming icons or third-party Japanese characters that have big ties with Nintendo into the game. So Bayonetta, we can't even really count that. I talked about Bayonetta, but she won the ballot, so that's kind of different. But if you look at all the different characters, let's just go ahead and lay them out here, guys, just so we can have a clear picture of what's going on. Mega Man, Pac-Man, Ryu, Cloud, Sonic, right then and there, not counting Bayonetta. All either huge ties with Nintendo or Japanese gaming icons. So that's the reason why I don't feel all of these fantasy Western third-party characters people are trying to say can make it in aren't going to get in, just because we've never seen it before. And yes, guys, I know there's a first time for everything, right? I got that. Maybe one of these characters does get in or something, but I'm hearing stuff like Doom Guy, I'm hearing stuff like Banjo, because Phil Spencer says that they're open to putting Banjo or having Nintendo put Banjo in there. But I have to just counter one point with people that are talking about that. It's like, why is Nintendo going to advertise one of Microsoft's IPs for them? Like, why are they going to do that? Unless Banjo has a chance of coming to the Nintendo Switch, I don't see that. Now, Cloud and all these other third-party characters at least have a chance to coming to the Nintendo Switch, or at least have a chance to coming to a Nintendo platform. I don't think Microsoft is going to release Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo Switch anytime soon. I don't think Microsoft is going to release any of the rare IP characters. So why is Nintendo going to give them free, amazing marketing and publicity in the next Super Smash Bros. Game? Because that's one thing that some people have to realize. Super Smash Bros. Is more than just a game. It's an event. It's a platform. People play this for a living. People do this as a lifestyle. Seriously, I've seen it before, guys. I play competitive Smash. I watch all the tournaments. I follow a lot of the guys who play. It's literally like a lifestyle in their own kind of like bubble slash clique of networks and people who do Smash for a living, whether it's Melee or whether it's Smash 4, okay? And then back there was Project M and other games as well. Heck, even 64 still to this day has a small but dedicated base of people who play. Heck, even one guy is like sponsored, or a couple people are sponsored or something like that. So for me, I look at it as, okay, well, what is the most likely that we're going to get for Super Smash Brothers? And it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be these Western third-party characters that Sakurai doesn't really know about, or at least he doesn't talk about too much. And yet there's still a bunch of Nintendo characters that aren't in there. We still have no Golden Sun representatives at all. We still only have one representative from F-Zero. There's still representatives from Star Fox that are missing. There's just a lot of characters that are missing, and all of that takes time and work and effort, you know, to get new characters in there. That's tough to get new characters, then balance that. Then if you look at Smash on the Nintendo Switch, probably going to have a lot of the characters that were there before. Now, some people have talked about DLC as well, and I get that. Maybe DLC, there's some Western characters or there's something that happens. But if you look at the DLC that Nintendo did with Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and Nintendo 3DS, a lot of it was focused on bringing back characters that were cut from previous versions. Look at Mewtwo. Once again, he was cut. He was in Melee, was not in Brawl. They replaced him with Lucario. They brought Mewtwo back. Also, look at another character, Roy. He didn't come to Brawl, and then they brought him back via DLC as well. Then they also brought in Lucas, too, from the Earthbound series to have another Earthbound character. So I do feel that with their DLC, what they're going to do is they're either going to bring back characters or they're going to initiate characters that could have been in there from Nintendo's other franchises. So that's just what I think, guys, okay? I'm not trying to say any of this stuff as if it's an absolute or if it's a fact or you guys have to 100% believe me. Obviously, I'm just speculating on things. I'm looking at the past in terms of what Sakurai has done. I'm looking at the characters that we've gotten so far. I'm looking at just kind of everything in the scope of things, and I'm saying, okay, well, where do these Western characters fit? Because we just haven't had it before. I'm just looking at the history. And like I said, there is a first time for everything, right? So if there was a Western character, I wouldn't pick these characters that are all of a sudden going over to other platforms first and everything. For example, like Spyro or like Crash, although those would be great. Those would be really cool to have in Super Smash Bros. They could have some amazing movesets, especially Crash. I think he can be a great character, and heck, who knows? Maybe he does get it. I'm just doubting that. That's what I'm saying. I don't think a lot of these characters are going to make it. But if there were some Western characters, there are two characters that I do think could make it over other characters just because of the relationship that they've had with Nintendo and their representation on Nintendo machines, and that is Rayman and Commander Video. Now, both of these characters were trophies in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, so you can actually see both of these characters in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Not playable, but you could see them in there. It just has Rayman, the description, and also Commander Video. Both of these characters have a strong tie to Nintendo platforms, with Rayman Legends, that's already on the Nintendo Switch, and then you also have Commander Video with Runner 3 coming up. And if you look at Runner, that franchise in particular has had such a long history with Nintendo, dating all the way back to the WiiWare service, the origins of the indie developer for Nintendo platforms. And what they've done, they've had exclusivity in terms of time exclusivity. This new game, Runner 3, that is going to be a console exclusive for the time being. It's also on PC, but console exclusive. So I'm looking at those two characters and I'm like, yeah, actually, I think that probably has a bigger chance because of the relationship that those two characters have with Nintendo. And on top of that, the relationship that the developers have with Nintendo. Maybe they could get through the Sakurai. They got through enough to get trophies in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. The next logical step would be to be a character. It would just be tough, in my opinion, just to see a Western character break past Rayman, break past Commander Video when they weren't even trophies in the previous game because of no ties to Nintendo or not strong enough ties. Ubisoft, once again, has a fantastic relationship with Nintendo, so that's the reason why I'm thinking that, guys, because of the relationship between Ubisoft and Nintendo. And look, they even let Ubisoft work with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I mean, that can tell you something right then and there, the type of relationship that Nintendo has with Ubisoft. So if there was going to be a third-party character, I would definitely say Rayman gets in above all these other characters here. I'd also say Commander Video as well, just because of the relationship, the fact that they're releasing Runner 3 exclusive. Runner 2 was a timed exclusive on the Nintendo Switch and did fantastic on the platform. There were various exclusives back in the day with the old school Runner games or timed exclusives, just a lot of them, and they always did really well. Those are my reasons, guys. That's what I think. Once again, I'm not trying to say this is 100% fact. I'm not trying to say this is something that's going to happen. I'm just giving you my thoughts on why I don't think all of these fantasy Western characters that people are bringing up that are on other platforms or synonymous with other platforms more so than anything are going to all of a sudden just appear on the Nintendo Switch version of Super Smash Bros. Just because of the amount of time and effort it takes. On top of that, you're going to be a walking advertisement for other companies when it comes to their games. I just don't think that's going to happen unless you're a Japanese gaming icon and you have a chance at coming to the Nintendo Switch or on Nintendo platforms. And a lot of these characters just aren't that. So let's go ahead and flip the script just a little bit, guys. What are your favorite characters when it comes to Super Smash Bros? And what would you like to see? We'll go ahead and split it up from a Western standpoint and also from a Japanese standpoint in the game. Now, if you haven't seen my video, I did make a video on most likely third-party characters in addition to new characters just joining in. So please check that out. I'll have a link to that in the description below. I'll also link it at the end of this video so you can check it out there and just click on it. So that basically wraps it up for this one here, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts. Comment section below, let me know. All right, Ninja, thank you so much for watching the video. I do appreciate that. Check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship and PE Arena, where we play games as a community for 4 hours. So check that out, guys. More information, link in the description below. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.